Hello, welcome back to the ministry. And the Lord gave me another song. He actually gave it to me in a dream, heard it clearly. And I heard this song about a week ago, maybe two. And I didn't feel like it was a relevant enough song to do a review on until he gave it to me straight. No chaser, in a dream last night. Heard it clear. Heard all lyrics. And I'm not saying I'm going to do all of these lyrics, but I'm going to talk about the sentiment of this song. He gave me Chante Moore's Chante's Got a Man at Home. If you recognize the direction we're going with a lot of these songs, it kind of seems like the guy's en route, the guy's thinking about you, the guy says, ready or not, here I come. Oh, look, now he's at home. One, this man done found his way home to God. And because he done found his way home to God, he done found his way home to you. And if you've ever watched the video for this song, she's sitting over with her girlfriends because one of the girlfriends' man was cheating and creeping and doing all kinds of stuff. And she's sitting there with them because if I'm not mistaken, the girls were from En Vogue. I know one of them was. But she's sitting there with them talking and they laughing and ha 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 he and she's sitting up there. She done got a text message and they looking at her like, girl, what's you laughing about? What's going on with you? Da, 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 da. And she's like, I gotta go because I got a man at home. I don't know what's going on with you and your stuff, but I actually got somebody, and because I got somebody, I ain't gonna sit around here playing with y'all who want to sit over there and have a cry fest over the fact of what your man did to y'all. My man just told me he on the way, so I'm about to leave here and get out and leave and go with him. So that's pretty much the whole song. Is she saying, I got a man. So because I got a man, he's en route to come get me. And because he's en route to come get me, that speaks volumes. This is the season you may find people want to drop they love dirt on you. Because you're easy to talk to. I'm finding that some of the movies and films I've been seeing on TV as of lately were some of the cases of people that were being cheated on and lied to. And for some reason, I don't know why, my father likes to watch those types of TV shows. And I'm going to be like, why are you watching this? Why are you feeding into this? I don't like to feed into that. I'm thinking about what it's going to take to be positive when a relationship does come into my life. Why the heck would I want to watch paternity court and divorce court and cheaters and all of this type of stuff? So people may be trying to push that on you. The devil might be trying to push that on you in ways such as that. But your focus got to be on the fact that you got a man that's come home to God and now he's coming to get you. So she's pretty much talking about, I'm sorry that your man ain't home. I'm sorry that he left you alone. I'm sorry that it's such a shame a man's playing games on you. And I heard you say that men are all the same. And I'm here to tell you, no, they not. How many of y'all have met women along your journey to kingdom marriage that talked about men were all the same? It's not that men are all the same. It's the fact that they keep drawing the exact same man. And they need to deal with themselves about that. Some, in certain cases, when your God ordained spouse came into relationship with some of these counterfeits, the reason that they held on to him so tightly is the fact that they had never had a man that was willing to do what your God ordained spouse was willing to do. But their hearts were not in it. So they fumbled the relationship on purpose because of the fact that God wasn't going to allow them to give all that they were trying to give to these people, because they weren't going to respect it. You ever been in a relationship, whether it be a rebound relationship? I never did rebound. I didn't understand that. So you just gonna get in a relationship with somebody else just to mess around with that person to get the other person out of your system, but you won't drop this person. That's disrespectful to the person that you're playing with. It's very disrespectful to that person, because that person is more than likely going to catch feelings to you, and then you just going to drop them like a hot potato when you've had your fill with this person. That is disrespectful. And you know that there are women that have only been that person, meaning anybody ever showing interest in them only showed interest in them because they were easy to play with. And it's not that these people were play toy women, meaning, you know how you've heard that statement that men will say that you don't marry what you play with. It's not that these women were that kind of play toy, meaning they knew that woman was a harlot, so that's what they went to them for. No, some of y'all, it was you, and it was not. They just wanted the comfort of having somebody like yourself around them, but they wasn't interested in, as soon as they got the sex, or as soon as they played around with you for a period of time that they feel even after they got the sex from you, it was like they dropped you. And you were sitting there wondering, I feel like I did everything right. Why is it that every person I end up in a relationship with does this to me? This is how you end up with that woman that feels like all men are the same, because they always ended up in that position. You ever had that friend that was the one that always ended up with the married man? They never had to worry about a commitment, but some of them, they actually were trying to be in a relationship with the person only to find out later that the person lied and was in a marriage and wasn't ever going to leave their wife. And they kept ending up in relationships like this. The bigger question is, why do you keep ending up in relationships like that? What makes you the target for men that want to do that to you? Or you're treated like the rebound. But nobody wants to solidly have a relationship with you. What's wrong with you, or what are you not doing to present yourself as marriage material or relationship material for a strong standing relationship? Why are you a play toy? It's not the truth, girl, because I got proof, girl. Oh, I got proof. And I got a man at home. For those of us that have walked through this journey, we got friends. Oh, we know women that are out here playing the other game, doing the other thing, out here serial dating, out here doing all of these kinds of things, out here just trying to find somebody to be with. And we're looking at it like, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. If you do it this way, you walk with God, He's going to show you who you're supposed to be with. But most people, they either don't want the person that God's trying to show them that they should be with, or they don't want to change to become what's necessary to be with that person, or they do not want to do the work to become what's necessary to be Because all these people sit up there and say, I got criteria to be in a relationship with me. But it's like, you got all this criteria. What are you doing about yourself? What are you doing to become what the man that you desire to have the criteria for would want? What are you doing? How are you becoming that so that that person will want to even stay with you? So it hurts that your man is leaving you alone. I can't help you with that, baby. That your baby is bad, creeping on you, cheating on you, beating on you. But I got a man at home, and he's good to me. God has protected this relationship, created something wonderful for you, and is protected for what God has put together. No man has put asunder. So everybody out here running around here trying to do it the natural way, because that's what the movies show you. That's what the songs say. The songs say just go and hook up with the chick. That's because the movies say that you're just gonna fall in love and this, that, and the other. And you're sitting there like, God has secured me a relationship because I placed my love life in His hands. And because of that, I know that I got a man at home with God. And He's coming to get me. Maybe you should do X, Y, Z. I say it with all the women. I've watched what has happened with these women, and it was always something. Some of them didn't feel adequate because they had kids. Others, it was the fact that, and they never looking at themselves. They always looking at, why is I always keep drawing this guy and this, that, and the other? Because there's something about you that you ain't willing to look at. And 9 times out of 10, it has to do with your daddy issues. Because certain daddy issues that a woman has will develop a certain character in them. If they had to be the man in the house because their mother was single and they were the oldest child, they ended up being the one that had to be the hustler in order to keep their siblings taken care of. So when they started having kids, they repeated darn near the exact same cycle and ended up in the exact same situation. Then you got the other that, so they continue to repeat certain cycles. And because of that, they don't understand. They're repeating what their mother did. They're repeating what they created in order to survive through their childhood. They are either becoming that independent hustler or victim that can sometimes turn left or right, meaning they can go extremely independent, or they will be the victim or become that Jezebelic dominant person, or they're going to use that man and they want to know why the man don't want to stay with them, because as soon as they peep what it is that woman's on, they start backing away. You can't be a loud-mouthed, disrespectful person in a relationship with a man. People be wondering, and sad to say this about our black women, you got black women that are out here that are loud and boisterous and dominant in all kinds of way, and then they wondering why most men will just up and leave them, but they want to say all these men are the same. But your actions within your relationship show what you on. And then you're wondering why these men are creeping around on you, cheating on you, and beating on you. Some of y'all acting like men. So y'all getting into fights with these men, and either they defend themselves or risk going to jail because you beating on them. And they want to say, oh, he beating on me. He raised his hand to me and something like that. And it's like, you put your hands on him, and this is a full-grown, fully bodied man. And if he push you, oh, you won't call the cops. When you're the one that had your fingers in his face, you was beating on him, you was calling him all this and disrespecting him. Or you go and get a good man, which our husbands have been, and know that the man has a weaker tempered person, that they not going to fight you. They not going to do any of these things to you. And then you won't be all in his face because you saw your mama do it. I remember watching the movie Cinderella, which brings me to my next point. I had a dream. The dream I had last night, I saw the Cinderella dress. And the mother or the stepmother figure was talking about all men are the same, and your father did this to me, so this is how you react to men when they do this to you. So this is what we're trying to get out of them. So that she had an entire scheme about how she went about luring men. That men were nothing but to lure them in, get married to them, and use their money. And that has been the case for some of these good men that are your actual husbands, that the Lord is setting them free from them Jezebelic women, which are these women that is sitting up there screaming and hollering, talking about they have all this issue. And then you got the Chante character who's saying, I can't help you. I'm sorry. You got to deal with you first. And until you're willing to look at you and where that's coming from, you're going to keep repeating the same cycle. But I'm not going to sit up here and be that girlfriend that is going to listen to what you got to say when I've listened to every time you've gone through this. And the key factor between that situation is you. And most of your girlfriends don't want to hear that. They would rather laugh in your face and be like, ha, 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 you just think you too good because you blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, it's not that you think you too good. Let me save you right now. No, you don't think you're too good. It's a scenario of they not willing to admit they're projecting their issues onto you and dumping their problems onto you. I saw a post on social media a while ago called the trash can. What people will do is dump their trash on you until they feel better. And then you're left with the ramifications of having that spirit on you. And if you don't get rid of it, you'll start to repeat the same processes. And that's what the enemy wants. So what the Lord showed me is these men have been on bended knee in preparation. There was a video by Loving Miracles with Ray. And it was a video where it showed the men were between two positions. The posture of prayer and the posture of proposing. These men have been in a pressure cooker with God. And God has been stripping them spiritually in preparation to come to you. And some of them, it's been a forced, not sickness, but you know when you get sick, a sickness isn't you getting sick. A sickness is you getting better. You already were exposed to what was making you sick. But the point in which the germ got in your body goes on defense to start to fight that thing off. And in it fighting it off, it makes you feel like you're sick. God has been putting these men into an incubator or a pressure cooker where he's been allowing the frustration to come. He's been allowing all of these things to come up because he's been like, I need this stuff to come to the surface. That just like with an illness, this stuff needs to come up in order for you to heal from it. But I got to do it in this way because it has to happen at a certain speed because y'all taking too long. So I got to force it out of you. Just like when you're sick. You don't get sick and be sick for a long period of time. You get sick, you sick for a couple of days. If you having a long illness, that means that there's a lot that needs to be cleared out of you. Usually illnesses are quick. Virus, quick. Certain things, quick. And that's what God's been doing, getting it out of them quick. But in order to do that, and I've seen this happen to a couple of the other young women that have been going through the kingdom marriage process, that the Lord took them through an illness within 1 week. And they were severely sick, but they had the revelation of within the severity.